What's up, Prop Mob? Eduardo Talbert here. This is Monster Tutorials. Today it's an exciting video because I am unboxing the Hot Wire Foam Factory Compound Bow Cutter. Okay, so and I'm going to show you how to set it up. For my personal purpose, I want to make a coffin for this coming Halloween, and I want that coffin to be made out of foam, right? So it's lightweight, and it's a prop, it's going to be animated. It's a really cool project. So I've always used the tools from Hot Wire Foam Factory, and I've used those in the past to make various props. Like I did the animated tombstones using these tools. I made the Zero tombstone from the Nightmare Before Christmas. I used these tools for a few other things. So I reached out to them and asked them and told them, hey, I want to make a coffin. What do you suggest? So they have a big table cutter, and they also have this one. This one I thought was a little bit more, I could use it for way more things than just a static table. So let's talk about this. So let's pretend I'm unboxing it. So, all right, it's unboxed. Comes like this. Now let's go over the tool. So it comes with the main part, right? And this is the 2-foot configuration. It comes with an extension tube that you attach here so that it makes it a 4-foot bow, which is giant bow. And then these, don't lose these yellow plugs, goes right there. That goes right there, and you kind of freehand your cuts. So if you're doing like a 3D sculpture, you can use this. For my case, I'm using dimensional cuts for the coffin, for the casket, so I'm going to use it differently, which I will show you in a minute. Right, in addition to those 4 parts, you get 4 bow cutter wires. This is for the 2-foot configuration, which is this size. And 4 for the 4-foot configuration, which is the one with this extension tube added. It comes with a clamp. With this clamp, it allows you to take this off, put the extension, put the clamp over there so that you have the 4-foot version. Power cord. It's kind of like the heat control center, right? Where you can adjust the heat, the output to the bow. And the other thing, it has this extension right here, and this is a pretty smart thing. So a lot of people, while they're cutting, they hit their wire with the bow cutter and ruin it, right? So this one you go into the bow. So if you ruin it, you can take this wire, throw it away, and get a new one. Because if you cut this one, that's permanently attached, which means you cannot replace it. So you put your extension here. Right? And then connect this to the bow. And now this part, if you damage it, you just replace it. Comes with instructions, of course. Well, let me show you how to put it together. Right, for the 2-foot configuration, what we will do is we will add these tubes here to the bottom and the top. We'll take in one of the 2-foot wires. You'll thread it right there, and then just like stringing a bow for a bow and arrow, you're going to squeeze it a little bit and there you go. So now we put these caps on. Now you have your bow almost ready to cut. We're going to start with the extension. So that is connected to the power source. This is just like a regular power source. You connect this here, right? Plug it onto the wall, and you can start cutting. It has a switch right here. Once you turn it on, be careful, it's going to be really hot, but you will be able to sculpt with it. Now for the 4-foot configuration, we're going to repeat the same steps, except we're going to take the clamp. Now this clamp comes with a Allen wrench. It's like a squeeze clamp. So we're going on. Going to add the extension here. We're going to slide the provided clamp in here, and just like that, tighten the clamp. Now add your tubes. This thing is huge. The kit comes with 4 of each wire. Just like the 2-foot configuration, the wire there. And you're ready to carve something really giant. Yes, you could carve like a boulder or like a giant monster or something. This is really cool. So now let me show you how I've set it up over here for the coffin. In my case, I'm going to be using the 2-foot configuration, and I'm going to be making mostly straight cuts. So, well, the other things that I got that they suggested at the Hot Wire Foam Factory is some of these brackets. They have these at Lowe's, Home Depot, or any hardware store. And they're the kind that you just screw onto the wall, and you can hang your brooms and mops on it. This fits perfectly on this to hold it still. So I measured a piece of plywood that I'm going to use as my cutting surface, and then I grabbed a piece of 2x4 and I cut it based on the measurement. So I mounted in the position that I wanted, and then based on that I marked where I wanted these brackets and mounted 2 of these brackets. Then I marked where the wire would go through the table, and I used a paddle bit to drill a 1-inch hole through the piece of plywood, so that the wire goes right through. Now that was really hard, so I missed it by about 1/2 inch, so I extended the hole and made it into an oval. Just as a reminder, when you cut foam, cut with the lowest temperature possible that goes through the foam, and make sure to use your respirator, right? I have a fan that vents to a window over here, but I'm going to turn it off so it doesn't make noise during the video, but this is a well-vented room right here. For this sample cut, I've set a piece of wood, a board, and I've clamped it in order to make a fence where we can slide the foam so that it cuts in a parallel way. Now, one other thing to keep notice is that if you're using the 2-foot configuration, don't go any higher than 16 volts. And if you're using the 4-foot, then you can go all the way up to the 24 volt. So we're going to use maybe, let's start with the least hot setting, which will be 12. See how that cuts foam? Because we're only cutting thin foam like this, right? So let's turn this on. Now, one day I hope to sculpt freehand with that thing, someday soon, but for now, that is the setup that I'm going to be using for the coffin, and that is the 4-foot compound bow cutter, right? So that was the unboxing. I hope the setup helps you. There are instructions, but I hope that this video also helped you set it up. There are links below for it and for all the range of products that they have, including these other 2 that I was telling you about. So go check them out, go say hi. They make everything in-house, which I was like pretty amazed when I talked to them. They build all these things there before they ship them, they package them. Really cool people, so go check them out, go say hi to them. And if you're building the coffin with me or some of the other projects, consider using one of these. I've had the tools for a while and I have not been disappointed. So right now, I recommend them. All right, I'm Eduardo Talbert. This is Monster Tutorials. We are the Prop Mob. I'll see you on the next one, hopefully making a coffin. All right, see ya.